Element 126, resin. Res. It was the answer to everything. A transmutable element with the power to unlock the secrets of the universe. It gifted humanity everything there was to know about space-time and how to enslave it. Res triggered an explosion of technological advancement. Mankind spread to the far reaches of the galaxy, growing exponentially in numbers, along with the reliance on Res. The United Terran Alliance was founded to control the countless population. Eventually, they sought to ration the use of Res. As Res supplies thinned, conflict arose. An epidemic of fortune-seeking miners forced their way to the galactic core, where resin was most abundant. Eventually, the primary Res source was discovered. All Res stemmed from a sinister and timeless energy being, a being awakened by the use of Res. They had sprung an ancient and recursive trap, Res being the bait no budding civilization could possibly ignore. Corruption spilled outward into the stars, twisting the biological matrix of all it touched, integrating it into machines. Mankind's own technology, their own dead, had begun to turn against them. For years they struggled to survive against a flood of abominated metal and flesh. Billions were lost to the infection, only further feeding the expanding corruption. In spite of hopeless obliteration, the very fabric of life itself arose to fight the dark entity. As a race, humanity came together for a single purpose. In some twisted way, they had found peace. Peace, however, does not last. People fell back into their self-minded ways. Humanity turned inward in a scramble for the remaining Res, which now could no longer be renewed. As the UTA lost its control over the galaxy, they collapsed the entire Warpgate network beyond any hope of salvage. Human ingenuity, it turns out, knows no captivity. A resin-based drive was developed, allowing more direct travel anywhere in the galaxy. The Void was reborn as a wild, untapped, and lawless frontier. As years pass, piracy and skirmish battles rage. Precious Res the prize. Raw worlds are recklessly colonized and disputed by legions of makeshift starships. An entire ecology of nomadic drifters emerged, endlessly recycling the wrecks of constant war. All the while, the nearly forgotten saviors of the galaxy tirelessly struggle to exterminate the last remnants of the infection.
It seems like, yet again, you dimwits have flown my ship headlong into an infested region. That is the third time this week. 6 million forms of communication, and I'm yet to find one that can articulate how moronic you fools are. Computer, power up the weapons and shield emitters. The doctor is in.
Super killed. Mega killed. Destroyer of Worlds. Game over.
By the void. Level 13 is truly the bane of my existence.
Carl, seriously? Do you realise crew members suffocated on the lower decks because you routed power from life support to play stupid video games?
Silence, imbecile! They gave their lives for the greater good. A scientific mind must stay active, or it would wither and wrinkle. I'll boil any ocean. I'll irradiate a whole litter of Narlakian pups. I'll divide by 0 if I have to.
I told you he'd cause trouble if you leave him to his own whim. Those implants can really make a man sick in the melon. Elsa, he is a liability if we keep him on board.
Please refrain from sneaking up on another living creature like that. Do you not realize the horror people have to endure every time they look at your face? You are fortunate I did not inadvertently dismember you in a panic-induced frenzy.
Everyone, shut up! To the bridge, right now. Anyone not here in 30 seconds is getting vented into space. Well, I'm glad to see everyone was able to get up at the crack of noon to work towards sustaining our survival. Let me present to you all the garbage dump we'll be sifting through this afternoon. Yes, most of this is useless junk. Yes, this is utterly pathetic, but what choice do we have?
This ain't no way to treat this here Metal Mother. The lady deserves better. Let me be snapping on something fresh. He might not be the best candidate to operate the tractor prototype. Keep in mind that Carl built this thing, so it goes without saying that it's dangerous. I'd hate to have come all this way just to have Mackenzie rip us apart like a rabid chimp with Carl's untested toys. You know how those two can be.
I don't really care who does what, but we need to jump on this opportunity to expand the mothership. That core module will give us some elbow room, while those wings will give us some much-needed firepower. Let's get those modules fitted so we don't have to listen to each other breathe anymore.
Please pay close attention to the Moving Picture Feature Film Show. You will be subjected to standardized testing following this demonstration.
What exactly do you think you're doing? Stop leaning on that overhead projection like a crutch. This isn't some archaic, top-down space shooter we're playing here. This is real, brutal, kitten-eating life we're talking about. Join the rest of us down here in reality.
Our omnilithium capacitor is now tapped out. I've devised a method to simply eject the spent cell while fabricating a new one out of surrounding space dust. Do not ask me how it works, or why it makes sense. All that you need to know is that you will be unable to fire the ship's weapons while the new cell is being installed.
All right, I'm bringing the weapons online. If that is indeed what you want to call this garbage. Let's blast open some of these containers. Maybe we can find something to eat that won't make our hair fall out.
I have decided that it would be best if basic resource towing was left up to the ship's computer. These items are too fragile to be handled by Neanderthals. It brought me great pain to watch you struggle with the tractor beam.
Assimilate and perform the following diagnostic tests on the kinetic shield system. Your life and my hull may depend upon it. All modern space-capable engines come equipped with special regenerating boost capacitors. Please practice making rocket go fast now.
I have to say I'm impressed. You're all able to lace this thing back together without eating each other. The only thing that remains is to test the res drive. Mackenzie, start the pre-flight procedure.
From scotch and caviar to beers and tears, how is it that Jameson is the only other one with ambition to dig out of this dung heap? Just cook those bloody engines up and lay in a course for somewhere that isn't here. Please.
Welcome to the Super Ultra Star Map 9000. This holographic interface will allow you to scan all known galactic entities, plot mothership destinations, and communicate with other ships and starbases. Please practice untethered exploration now. Game saved.
All right, we're mobile. If you are all thoroughly satisfied, we can finally get on with it. We still have stickies out there, not to mention a laundry list of equipment we need before we can do anything about them. Time is of the essence, and we've wasted so much of it already.
As anxious as I am to find a so-called sticky, we have not encountered one for many cycles. The ship does not yet have a nacelle to stand on. Therefore, we need to scout more easy opportunities to exploit. Now that we are finally underway, let me remind you that you cannot simply urinate in the corner and proclaim you are the alpha meat husk. You are a minuscule fish in an otherwise colossal ocean of galactic proportions. Unless you wish to be dead before breakfast, read the advisory overlays I have painstakingly programmed for your survival. Do not just click past them and complain on the galactic forums that you did not get the memo. Ignorance will not be excused. Read or die.
Please familiarize yourself with the star map command functions. If you do not assimilate this information now, it will be waiting for you at dinner time.